Hello, once again, alcoholic audio engineer coming to you from lovely, scenic, and monsoony, rainy Paju City, South Korea. Today, I'm going to show you what I've done with the Gorilla in the Corner of the Room mix. It's come quite a ways, and I've actually moved beyond this tutorial series had certain constraints that I set. I wanted to sort of confine it to things that could be done through the microphone, and of course an acoustic guitar, and things to used for percussion, things that are lying around the house. And that's what I did. And I've moved beyond that now. Last night I tracked a bass line through the audio interface here. And I started tracking some guitar overdubs, just playing around with nuances and atmospherics and things like that. So the idea of this was to show you what you can do at home at very minimal setup cost. Basically the only price of admission is the microphone. I still haven't made the video on my opinion of the best microphone for the money. Things have come up. I'll get around to it. But you just get on Amazon and look around. You can find something in your price range, and there are differing levels of quality, but when you're just starting out, you're not going to be too particular, and it's going to be pleasing to you, whatever it is. So anyways, I don't think I can get to everything. As you can see, what are we up to now? 21 tracks. Okay. I should break this down into different videos. I think on this one I'll focus on the gong. I'll focus on the gong. Where is the gong? Okay. One of the gongs, this bad boy right here, is a traditional Korean shaman gong. People are kind of afraid of this thing. My wife's afraid of it. She doesn't like me hitting it in the house. And but I wanted to use it. I ended up not using it anywhere approaching or approximating the way I had intended to use it. I had forgotten that this gong is it's an A flat gong. Its primary frequency is A flat, and this song is in B minor. So how do you use an A flat song in the key of B minor? Maybe you don't know anything about music at all, and that won't make any sense to you. But yeah, A flat is an off note in the key of B minor. Put it that way. A is okay, just not A flat. Anyway, as you can see, I've got all these tracks from 14 to 21. They all include the word gong. So this gong ended up being a substantial part of the mix. Before I get into the gong, I'm just going to kind of do an overview of what I did. I tracked the tom-toms. And I played the tom sounds on the body of one of my acoustic guitars and a rubber gong mallet. if you've been following along this series, you saw that. And then I duplicated that track several times, applied different effects to get, and mixed them various different ways. There's gorilla toms, there's laser toms, left and right. At first those were infinity toms, but I changed the effect and I renamed them laser toms because they kind of like sounded like Star Wars lasers a little bit. Jet plane toms, a really wet flanger that I used on those. Now, you can hardly hear all of these now. They're very, very subtle. They're very low key. And also the gongs. All this stuff is real subtle, really low key. It just provides ambience and texture. And as big as this mix looks, I'm only just getting started. This is just kind of like I've put gesso on the canvas, and now I'm going to start painting. But once again, everything you see here, with the exception of let me see, bass, Sky Cry, which is a atmospheric guitar part. I just called it Sky Cry because it sounded like a cry in the sky. 29 Crisp, that's the name of an effect setting, a preset in my audio interface. Except for those three, except for these three right here, we started with guitar, main vocal, kick, snare. First video, we just started with guitar and main vocal, and I tracked them right here live on the camera. And so if you followed this from beginning until now, I would, and you don't really have, I'm getting too close to the mic, sorry. I don't want to like be blaringly loud. I keep having issues with audio quality. Anyway, in this podcast software. Anyways, if you've watched it all the way through from that video where I tracked through this microphone with, this guitar, which is something special to me, but in the grand scheme of guitars, it's nothing special. It's not even real wood. I mean, it's like it's made out of a wood product, some kind of laminate, and yeah, I mean, it's nothing special. It's not a great guitar. It doesn't have any bottom end. I use it for playing for kids, leading songs with little children. It's good for that. So track the first guitar part with that. Sat right here in this chair and did what's often the scratch. It's called the scratch vocal, right? It's just there for reference. But the vocal that you hear now is the same one that I tracked, back in that video. I didn't re-record the vocal. Guitar, main vocal, that's where we started. Okay? Guitar, main vocal, then we added kick, which was just a random cardboard box, I mean, not totally random. I selected a bigger cardboard box that would have some woof to it. But now it sounds like a kick drum. It really sounds like a kick drum. Snare, I used a board game box. Smaller box with some rattly things in it. And now it doesn't sound like a snare. It sounds like a rim shot on the stick hitting the rim on the snare. I decided I like that better. But that's the snare part, the 2 and the 4. The kick is the 1 and the 3. The snare, whatever sound it is the 2 and the 4, right? That's what we started with. And depending on how minimalist you want to be, you can leave it at that. You can do as little or as much as you want. And then the toms, again, used a rubber mallet on the back of the body of another acoustic guitar. Duplicated that track, did all kinds of different things with those duplications. Ended up adding a bodhran. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's this Irish drum right here. You know, held it in my lap, and I don't know. I kind of did something like that. And what else? Yeah, bodhran part, and then I started on the gongs. There's a lot going on here. But all these parts, all these tracks, it's all very subtle, actually. So I guess why not just like I'll go ahead and hit play, and yeah. So you're gonna hear the bass, and this guitar part right here is just I just tracked the first part of it. It's kind of like an intro, but you can kind of hear what a guitar track from the audio interface sounds like. Can sound like. The other one, Sky Cry, is just kind of like a nuance. Sounds kind of like an oboe. Sounds kind of like reminds me of Sting. Not that I'm. Sting is an absolute genius, but yeah, it reminds me of like an oboe on a Sting track, what it does musically. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and play it for you. And, you know, believe it or not, there are 14, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gong tracks in here. And you notice that there 3 of them are in B. 1 is F sharp, 3 are D, 1 is A. I used tools to turn that gong from an A flat pitch to all these different pitches. And okay, I'm just going to go ahead and play it. And I'm only doing this for, you know, on the remote possibility that at some point someone in this benighted day and age is going to happen upon this series of videos and actually have the time for them. It's really disheartening what's going on with YouTube, and I know YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and you know it's also under Google, which is the first largest, and so like what do you expect? But last time I started a YouTube channel was like 10 years ago, and it was just me ranting about news items. Like, it was nothing important, nothing all that interesting, but like in a month I had 200 subscribers, and we were bantering back and forth, you know. I was getting to know them, and it's like 2 weeks into this, and it's just like nothing. There's just some videos get like 2 views, and I've done it, you know, I've put all the hashtags and this and that, and I've optimized, and I've done all that shit, and then, you know, they say, well, don't just do that, but go out and promote your channel, you know, at forums and threads and all that stuff. And I try that, but the world has changed. It's like I go to like alcoholic forums, like at Reddit and other places, and I'm not allowed to mention my YouTube channel because it's promotion, don't you know? And I'm like, well, it's not monetized. I'm not making money. I'm doing it as a public service for people who need it. And I actually got this response from a forum moderator. Yeah, but but one day it might be monetized. It's like something has happened to this world. Something's happened to this world. Something's happening to this world. And people just don't give a fuck anymore. They care about some guy with crazy hats and tacky shirts, like his whole thing is melting different kinds of candy and different kinds of booze in a jar and letting it sit for a week, and then he tastes it, drinks it, and people are all about that kind of shit. I have to stop getting too close to the mic. Sorry. But real education, look at this, man. I'm showing you how you can do this at home with just a computer and a USB mic that doesn't cost you much money. And, if guitar is not your thing, then, I don't know, you just get anything. Even a chintzy Casio keyboard is enough to start with. Just anything. Experiment. Make homemade instruments. So you can do anything. The tools are free except for this. Except for the USB mic. Anyway. So I don't want to be making this video right now because it feels like I'm kind of discouraged, quite honestly. But there might be, even if there's just one person out there that might find this one day and actually listen to it and go, wow, holy shit. Find the treasure trove, discover the treasure trove that it is. I've got to do it. So this is what has become of Gorilla in the Corner of the Room. And once again, this is just a gessoed canvas. And I do consider this, I think of this in my mind as frequency painting. That's what I call it. So now I've got the canvas set and I'm ready to start painting. All right? But, you can do whatever you want. So I'm just going to hit play and hopefully it doesn't crap out the CPU. Just listen. Here we go.
Well, I am headed up to
listen to all that controlled power fading away like that. And where did it start? I'll show you where it started. I'll let you hear where it started. Started right here. It started not too long ago, less than a week ago, I think. It started right turn off everything on these two tracks. It started right here. Here.
Well, I have had it up to here with all their fake ass laws.
Here's where it started.
I'm nothing but a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I think this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly jaws designed to chew up our perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. He's so heavy, so heavy.
And this is what it's become.
He's so heavy, so heavy. Once upon a time I lost a piece of my mind to a flash of summer lightning almost me blind. I surely would have lost my way before.
That's everything that I accomplished through this microphone.
Back along the labyrinths I left behind. Still when I'm groping for my keys, the only thing I seem to find is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. He's so heavy, so heavy.
That's what you can accomplish with free software. Any acoustic guitar that plays halfway decent. You know, some cardboard boxes or other items used for percussion, and some skill. Here's the bass line. All right. So, you know, if you're just coming to this video and you haven't been through all the tutorials, this is what it's about. So, yeah, I'm going to keep doing updates on this song as I continue to work on it. But in terms of, you know, tutorials for people just starting out DIY at home, I'm going to start on a new song. I think I'm going to do Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. It's going to be interesting. I've been thinking about it. It's an interesting challenge in a way. It's a good song for a DIY home project, right? Okay, so what should I do now? I don't have time to like upload too many videos. This is why I tend to go long format and kind of cram a lot into one video. Should I stop now? We're already 30 minutes. I can't believe how the time goes with these things. Yeah, I'll just call this like kind of the conclusion of the this song as a DIY home project without a audio interface, like within the parameters that I set. And I'll do another video on how I'll do further videos kind of focusing on different parts of the mix and how I did things. For example, how I got the gong, an A-flat gong, into a song in the key of B minor. There's a lot to learn from that alone. Right? There's just tons of stuff to learn here. And by taking the time to watch these videos, it's going to save you. I went down those learning curves, man. Just hundreds of hours. And, maybe it would have taken other people a lot less time. I can be kind of dense, and it can take me a long time to get my head around things. But I'd like to think that I'm distilling a lot of, like, hundreds of hours of effort and study and trial and error just to kind of like, there might be somebody out there that gets it and appreciates it. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this video now, call it like mix update or something like that. I'll figure something out. And then the next one, I'm gonna focus on how I got an A flat gong into a B minor song. That rhymes. That's a good title. Okay, so I need to go back and work on my song because this is my wife's favorite song of mine. And I did another really big mix of this song, in the last 6 weeks or so. She didn't like it. She had complaints about it. And I knew what she wanted. So I that's the direction I took this in. And sure enough, I played it for her in the car today, and she was grooving with it. And she loves it so much that we're having a summer vacation outing with. We have a couple of big outings with family this weekend and into next week, and she wants her family to hear it. She wants them to hear what I do when they come over here and they're hanging out, and I'm in here in the studio banging on stuff or not banging on stuff, like twiddling around on the screen, and they poke their heads in and they wonder what it's all about. She wants them to hear what it's all about. And so I'm translating the lyrics, and it's not going to be done by the time they hear it, but I want it to sound more or less like a finished composition. So that's what I'm going to be, that's tonight's all-nighter. But pleasant, man. It's really, really pleasant. It's good times. The canvas is prepared, and now it's just sipping on a green tea latte, vaping, going through the settings in the audio interface, which is the next thing you should get after the microphone. They're not too expensive these days either, and the quality is, this thing is like 17, 18 years old, and I love it. I'm going to use it until it gives up the ghost. But there's just we're living in a golden age of audio gear, affordable audio gear. It's amazing what you can do for very little money. So yeah, I'm going off into my territory. I'm gonna do videos where I can, kind of diving into this mix and explaining what I'm doing and how I'm doing it for those, again, if there's anybody on the face of this planet that will ever get anything out of it, I guess it's worth the time and effort to do it. Okay, so this is a hell of a lot better than boozing. It's just, there's no comparison. All right, so if you're fighting the alcohol demon, this is not for everybody, but for some people, if it helps me, I'm sure that I'm not unique. There's other people out there that can also benefit from it, so that's why I'm putting it out there. Okay, I keep repeating myself. Come on, AAE. Let's wrap this up. All right. Once again, from lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea, alcoholic audio engineer, over and out. See you in the next one.